Good morning, everyone. Today I have a quick and simple recipe to share with you guys for some turkey and vegetable dog food, homemade dog food. And as you can see, I have it's a medium-sized saucepan, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn the heat on to medium so that gets warming up. And I have all my ingredients. I have 6 cups of water. I've got some dried rosemary. I have brown rice, ground turkey, and I have some organic, a blend of frozen vegetables. It is broccoli, cauliflower, and carrots. That's a very common mix. Of course, you can use fresh if you want to. The frozen are easier and faster. And what I hear a lot of times from people that are wanting to make their own dog food is that they don't have time to do it. It's time consuming. So you can do it the hard way, I guess you could call it, or you could do it a little bit of an easier way and by taking some of those shortcuts. And one of those shortcuts is to use frozen vegetables, or if you have a garden and you have canned vegetables or frozen vegetables in your freezer that are already prepared, and already cut up and things like that, it cuts down on your prep time. So it's a little bit more expensive to do it that way. Of course, the ingredients aren't fresh, they're frozen, but you know, it is still healthy for your dog. As I said, I bought the organic kind. I would encourage you to do so as well. They're a little bit more expensive, but it's certainly worth it for the health benefits that offers. So okay, my my saucepan's here and it's on medium heat. I'm gonna go ahead and add the 6 cups of water to that, so that starts warming up. And then what you want to do is add your ground turkey. I'm going to... I know it sounds weird because usually, whoops, I spilled a little water. I'm a very messy cook. If you guys watch my videos every week, you know that. Usually you would add the meat first and kind of brown that and then add the water, but for this recipe, you're going to kind of boil everything all together. So I'm just going to break up that ground turkey and sort of mix it around a little bit. Once it starts mixing with the water, you'll notice it kind of breaking up on its own. Once you break it into chunks, it will kind of fall apart on its own sort of in the water. So go ahead and do that. And if there's some chunks left, it's no big deal. That's all going to cook up and you'll be able to break it apart. Anyway, so there's that. I have 2 cups of brown rice in this bowl, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of just sprinkle that in all over. And again, I spilled some rice. And that floats on top of the water, so you want to just sort of pack it down in there, make sure it's not all in one big pile. There. And I did the turkey, and the only thing that's left is your rosemary and your vegetables. So it's a teaspoon of dried rosemary. I have my teaspoon right here. And same thing, just kind of sprinkle that around so it gets evenly distributed through there. And then you have your vegetables. Again, I use broccoli, cauliflower, and carrots, but if I can get into them. You can use any vegetables that are healthy for dogs and safe for dogs. There are certain vegetables like onions that aren't, so make sure that if you're using a different type of vegetable than I'm showing this recipe, like I said, if you have if you have a garden and you have vegetables growing fresh, green beans are great for dogs, peas are great for dogs, zucchini, really any kind of squash is great for dogs. So you can certainly substitute, especially if you have something fresh on hand and you want to use that. Just cut it up like these, you can see, are cut into small pieces. If you've seen some of my other videos, you know that we use things fresh from our garden most of the time. I just wanted to show you today a way to kind of make the process a little bit faster. There's no cutting, there's no chopping, nothing when you use the frozen vegetables that are already cut. So, but feel free to substitute if you want, or if there's something that your dog won't eat, if you notice your dog won't eat broccoli or something like that, absolutely substitute. And Just make sure, if you're unsure of whether a vegetable is healthy for your dog, make sure that you either call your vet or do a quick bit of research on that to make sure that the vegetable that you're choosing is healthy for your pet. But like I said, there are a lot of them out there that are, so feel free to substitute. Now you're gonna let this cook, and you'll notice as it boils, it kind of all cooks together. The rice cooks, the ground turkey's cooking, the vegetables are thawing and things like that. It takes probably about 20 minutes to cook it until you'll notice that the rice starts to absorb the water and it becomes more of a dog food, like a canned dog food consistency over this very liquidy, runny consistency. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this heat up and cook for about 20 minutes, and then I'll come back and show you guys what it looks like when it's finished. Here we have the finished product. It is the turkey and rice and vegetable. I call it turkey and vegetable homemade dog food, but as you can see, the rice cooks, the turkey kind of mixes in there, and then of course you've got the vegetables. There's some broccoli. The rosemary you don't really notice, but that's what it looks like. There's still a little bit of moisture in the dog food, but certainly not a lot, and you want it to be a little bit moist. That's the plus to homemade dog food or raw dog food, dehydrated dog food, things like that have a lot of water in them. The plus to that is that they're so much more hydrating than dry kibble. Dry kibble actually can dehydrate your dog if he doesn't eat or drink enough water. So that's a plus to have a moist food like this one. You can see the texture, the consistency of it is similar to canned dog food aside from the chunks there of the vegetables. But it's very similar, very mushy, very soft. If you have an older dog, a dog with dental issues, this is going to be a great choice. As you can see as well, you can't really see it because it kind of all blends in with the rice, but the ground turkey, as it cooked, it broke up in there and kind of dispersed, so you don't have any big chunks of meat or anything in there. And if you did, they'd be easy to break up. Sometimes when you have frozen vegetables like I use, you'll get a big like chunk of cauliflower or broccoli, and you can easily just kind of, I'm using a plastic spoon, and you can just break those up if you find those in there. But this is a really great dog food for any dog, from puppies to older dogs, like I said, especially dogs with sorry, our boxer Chloe's down here. She smells this and she wants to try some. So anyway, it's good for all different dogs. Of course, if you're doing homemade dog food, you want to speak with your vet to make sure that whatever the recipe that you're using is providing your dog with what he needs, whether it's extra protein. If your dog's overweight, you want to limit the fat in his diet and only have healthy fats, things like that. You may want to add supplements. If say you do like a joint supplement, they make a lot of powders, probiotics, things like that you can sprinkle right on dog food. Fish oil is a great thing to add to dog food. So talk to your vet, find out what your dog's needs are, and you can kind of customize your recipe to either include those supplements, or maybe your dog needs a little bit more protein, so you can swap maybe some of the rice for some extra protein, things like that. So this is a very low-fat dog food to begin with because it has the ground turkey. If you're using recipes with something like ground beef, which has a higher fat content, you might want to swap for something like ground turkey. So things to consider if you speak with your vet, or you can contact a canine nutritionist, and they can get a feel for your dog's overall health and well-being, and then kind of get you on the right path to things that you should be feeding him, and maybe some changes that you can make in his homemade dog food, like I said, adding supplements or cutting down some fat or things like that. So certainly a great recipe for all dogs, very healthy, very low in fat. You can store this, like I just put some of this in the bowl because I'm going to feed it to Chloe when it cools, but obviously you have to wait till it cools, and you can serve it right away, or you can put it in an airtight container and put it in the refrigerator for 5 to 7 days, or you can put it in an airtight container and freeze it, and it'll be good in your freezer for a couple of months. So you could make a big batch of this, or what I like to do is make like a big batch on like a Sunday afternoon, or just hanging out at home. I'll make a big batch of 2 or 3 different types of dog food, some with beef, some with chicken, some with turkey, maybe a vegetarian dog food or something like that. So I'll make some different kind of varieties and flavors, and then I will freeze all of those, and I can change it up and give my dogs a variety of food over the course of a couple of months, and I don't have to make food every day or every couple of days, so that's always a plus too. So if you have any other questions or anything that I haven't answered in this video, go ahead and ask me. You can find us on our website, which is topdogtips.com. You can also find us on social media. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, we're on Instagram, we're on Pinterest. Of course, you can reach out to me through my email, which is samantha@topdogtips.com. If you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to help out. If you're looking for any specific recipes, if your dog's diabetic or overweight, if you have a puppy, if you have an older dog, and you're looking for recipes that are going to be specific for your pet's needs, go ahead and send me an email. I'd be happy to do a little bit of research and find some great recipes to share with you. Stay tuned, because I share recipes for dog treats as well as different types of dog food, some that can be made in the slow cooker and some that are baked in the oven, different flavors and things like that. So stay tuned for that as well. And of course, we have product reviews and how-to videos and all kinds of great stuff. So jump on our website and check that out if you haven't. It's topdogtips.com, and I will see you guys back next time with another delicious recipe. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I will see you guys in a few days.